Hello, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are joining me from today. Welcome and welcome. All right. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful day. If you're joining me from Nigeria or anywhere else in Africa, if you're also joining me in the United States, I hope you're enjoying your day. Welcome. All right. It's going to be a wonderful day today. All right. I want to encourage you to share this session with leaders that you know. All right. Every leader that you know, I would encourage you to share this session with them. Okay. So welcome. Thank you very much for joining me today, wherever you are joining from. My name is Wale Adekanla, your strategic leadership coach and sustainability change expert. I'm truly excited today to be live for us to get into an important conversation today. It's going to be a life-changing session, and I want to encourage you to invite every leader you know, okay? I'm going to do the same thing right here. Let's invite everyone that we know, invite every leader you know, share with them, let them know we have started. Okay. Okay, let's do that. All right. So just keep sharing with everybody that you know, everyone you know. Leaders in business, leaders in ministry, leaders in politics. And if you know any executive in any organization, this is the right session for them. Share with all your top senior managers that you know, okay? Because we are going to talk about everything leadership today, everything leadership. We're going to get into the deep part of leadership, which of course will be critical for the success of every organization. So just keep sharing with them, keep sharing with everybody. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we're live on YouTube, we're live on LinkedIn, and then we're live on Facebook as well. Okay. Here you go. So let's get started because I know that we only have 30 minutes for the first part of this session, which is going to be my teaching session. And then we're going to move into the last part of this live session, the last 15 minutes. And the last 15 minutes is going to be for questions and answers. All right. So if you have any questions and answers within your organization, it could be a peculiar one. And of course, it could also be a generic one. I will be open to answer any questions that you may have. All right. So let's get into the conversation that we need to talk about today. I want you to remember something which is very critical to the success of today's session. I want you to grab your pen, okay? Grab your notepad. I want you to write as much as possible, and I want you to also ask questions as much as possible. So, like I said, the first 30 minutes is going to be for my teaching session. And remember, our focus today, we want to focus on from talent to team. From talent to team. I am truly excited personally, You are here for this special session in the Scalable Leader webinar series. So today we're going to tackle, something every high performing leader eventually faces. Remember, I want you to take note of that word, eventually faces. And how do you move from doing it all by yourself to building a team and system that multiplies your impact? How do you create that shift? How do you move from talent? I know you're talented, you're gifted, you have the vision, you have the big ideas. Yes, but how do you move from you doing it all by yourself into building a team and systems that multiplies your impact? And this applies to um, every industry, whether you are leading in a faith-based organization, or you are leading in a business environment, or you are leading in politics in Nigeria, anywhere in Africa, or anywhere else in the world. It's the same thing. It's the same challenge. It's the same opportunity. Okay. So we want to look into some of the big opportunities we have as leaders to transition from leading it all by yourself into building teams and systems that can multiply your impact in your leadership. So if you're ready, I want you to drop a yes in the chat. Drop a yes if you are ready to move with me. I want you to drop a yes in the chat. Are you ready? Wherever you're joining us from, whether on LinkedIn, on YouTube, or on Facebook, can you just drop yes? I am ready. I'm ready. Okay, I see. Thank you very much. Good evening, Christiana, for joining us. Wherever you are joining us from, it's going to be a great time for you. Okay, let me know where you are joining from. Where are you joining from? Are you joining us from Nigeria, from Africa, or where are you joining us from? Feel free to just drop where you are joining us from, wherever you are joining us, whichever of the platforms, okay? But here's the thing that I want you to know as we move on this wonderful day. I want you to get ready for a big shift, a big transformation. And that could be in your own life, in your team, your organization, in your leadership, okay? John C. Maxwell said, everything rises on and falls on leadership. And that's very true. Everything. So if you want your life to become better, you have to improve your leadership skills. You have to enhance your leadership mindset. And then you have to build your leadership capacity. So everything we're going to be talking about today is going to be focusing on how you can expand your capacity, expand everything you lead, starting from you, okay? Because if you don't equip and lead yourself, you cannot equip and lead others. And that's the foundational principle in leadership, okay? Foundational principle in leadership. And that will lead us to you leading others, whether you are leading a small team, leading a big team, or leading an organization. Is the same principle. It applies in every situation. Okay. So here is the big idea for today. And I want you to take note of this big idea for today. And if you want to write this down, feel free to write this down. The big idea is this: talent gets you started, but it's your team and system that makes it sustainable. I want you to take note of that. Talent gets you started, but it's teams and systems that make it sustainable. You cannot create anything that is sustainable if you don't have teams and systems in place. You cannot. You cannot. You cannot create anything that can outlive you if you don't have scalable teams and then scalable systems. Now, please take note of that. There are many organizations that have consulted for, that have teams, and they also have systems, but their teams are not scalable and their systems are not scalable because not every team is scalable. Okay, many leaders stay stuck at the same level because they never shift from being a high performer. All right. For example, let's say as a business person, you are an entrepreneur, you're a founder, of course, you've started that business, that big idea that you have in your heart. Or maybe you are leading as an executive in an organization, or you're leading as a manager in an organization, or maybe you are a policy maker in a nation. Okay, it's the same principle. So you have to understand how to create that shift from you becoming the high performer. Okay, please take note of that. The high performer into being a high multiplier. Now, there is a big difference between a high performer and a high multiplier. All right, you move from being a performer into becoming a multiplier. Now, there is a need for a shift there. It does not just happen by accident. It does not happen. So, tonight, if you're joining from Africa, I'm going to show you how to make that shift. Okay, so are you ready for that shift? Are you ready to quickly make that shift? So let me just quickly share some powerful ideas that I've applied in supporting organizations. We've applied all these wonderful principles and strategies and getting fantastic results in our teams across the globe. But I'm going to just give you some tips that will help you so that you can start practically, applying this today. High performance versus high multipliers. If you're writing, I want you to write that down. High performance versus high multipliers. Okay? So once you write that down, I want you to also write this statement down, which is very critical. Most of us start as high performers. Everyone, whether you are an entrepreneur or maybe you join a new organization, or maybe you are a policy maker, as a politician in a nation, okay, or maybe in a community, in a state, in a nation, everyone starts, okay, as what? As high performers. In fact, most people start at that level, but we are the best at what we do. Okay, we are the best at what we do. We know exactly what we should do. We have the idea, the vision, the passion. Of course, your clients love you. Clients love us when they see the passion, when they feel the vision, when they connect with the vision. They love it. Everybody loves it. For example, let's say you are a pastor. Everybody loves you. You are an apostle, or maybe you are leading in any ministry, faith-based organization. Of course, you are the high performer. Everybody loves you. They want to hang around you, right? Yeah. So listen to this. The results depends on you. That's exactly what happens when high performers, okay, respond or make things happen. Everybody loves to be around them. The result depends on you. Everything depends on you. Everything. But if everything depends on you, then you are the bottleneck. As you continue to grow your organization, if every decision, every process, every system, and every structure and every operational activity that happens in your organization, if everything depends on you, then you are the bottleneck. Think back to when you did everything: sales, delivery, admin, marketing. I mean, because you could, right? If you're starting out as an entrepreneur, you could. If you're an executive, of course, you jump into a company and you don't really understand a lot of things, or probably you have to step in to get some things done. Everything, of course, will depend on some little task that you are going to focus on. Sales, you got to do supports everybody. Okay. Of course, you will do that because you could. It feels productive when you are doing that, but it isn't scalable. Okay. It's productive, but it's not scalable. Not everything that is productive is scalable. I'm going to explain that. Remember, I told you to write high performer versus high multiplier. Okay, so a high multiplier rather does everything differently. A high multiplier does everything differently, completely different. Completely different. That must be a shift there. All right. If you understand what I'm talking about, just type shift, because there is a need for a shift. Okay. Whether you are on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, just type shift. All right. Because it's important for us to, to have that mindset. It's important. Or, and if you cannot create that transformation that you need for you to move from one level to the other level, you cannot experience what you are really looking for. And I'm going to explain what that really means. So, high multipliers. Now, let me just talk about what they do differently. Number one, they build people. Number two, they build systems. Number three, they build the right culture that makes the right culture that help result possible, even when they are not there. And that's the power of culture. That's the power of culture. So let me ask you this this question: what is one thing in your work that still depends 100% on you? What is one thing in your work that still depends 100% on you? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. What is one thing? Just one thing. Whether you are an executive, a policy maker in a nation, a business person, an entrepreneur, or maybe you are a leader in a religious organization. What is one thing in your work that still depends 100% on you? Okay? Think about this. We're going to fix that today. We're going to fix that together. Okay? We're going to fix that together. So, I want us to get into the next phase of today's session. I want us to talk about strategies to build systems that attract growth. All right, that attracts that will help you to grow and then retain talent, especially the A talent, because not every talent is a talent. All right, sometimes you miss it. It's okay. Sometimes you will get it right. But it's important for us to know how to retain the A talent. Very important. So let's talk practical strategies here. I want us to talk about practical strategies that can help us to attract, to grow, and then to retain A talent. All right. So how do you attract? That's my question today. For you, grow and retain the right people. Whichever way you have been doing this in the past, I want to quickly share some thoughts with you so that as we rub minds together, you can review your current processes and then see if you are actually doing things right. Okay, number one, to attract. So let's talk about attracting them. Top talent, as far as I know, with more than 2 decades of experience working with leaders across several sectors. Please listen to this. This is very critical. Top talent wants clarity and purpose. Top talent wants clarity and purpose. Without clarity and the sense of purpose, you cannot retain top talent. In fact, you cannot attract. Let's start with that. You cannot attract top talent. There must be clarity, and that is the work of the leader. The most important work that the leader must understand is providing clarity, painting the picture clearly for everybody to understand where they are, where they are going, and then what is my own in it. Trust me, everybody thinks, what is my own in it? If they cannot understand their own value, their own growth, and where they will be in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, all right? If they cannot see themselves in that growth or in that process, you can't attract them. So top talent wants clarity and purpose. I hope that is clear. All right. So if you are not providing clarity and a sense of purpose, you can't attract them. So show people a clear vision, a meaning, a meaningful why. Why is very important when it comes to you attracting top talent, and what is in it for them. Okay, don't forget those 3 things. Number 1, clarify the vision. Number 2, attach the meaning to it. Everybody wants to understand why, especially top talent. They want to understand why are we doing this? Right? They will keep on asking you questions. Why? As a leader, you should be excited when you start receiving such questions, because they want to understand, and it is your responsibility to provide clarity. And then what is their own in it? Number 2, grow. Remember, we're talking about attract, grow, and then retain. So that retainment basically focuses on the sustainability part. Okay. Number 2, grow. So you need to develop a simple training system. Very simple. Don't make it complicated. All right. Don't complicate it. Make it simple. Don't assume they will figure it out by themselves. All right. Don't assume they should know it by themselves. No. Train them. Train them so well that they will feel like leaving the organization or leaving your team, and then care for them so well so they don't feel like leaving. Does that make sense? Right? Care for them so much so they don't feel like leaving. Train them so well, because I know many leaders are afraid of training the people, their leaders, their employees, and and their partners. They don't want to train, because they're thinking like, oh, if I train them, if they leave, then they won't add value to us. They will get out there to add value to another organization. Hey, please train them. You know what? Even when they leave, okay, you have added value to their lives, and they will continue to go with that value, and they will never forget the impact that you have made in their life. Somehow, it will come around. Okay, it will come around. So here's the thing: it's an investment. And what if they make that decision to stay with you? So develop a simple training system. Don't assume that they will figure it out. And number 2, document what works. You have to document it. What works? The intrinsic knowledge, those ideas that they will develop, document them. Document them. They are assets in your organization. And use necessary checklists, SOPs, and coaching system. All these things are systems. We have checklist systems, we have SOP systems, and you have your coaching systems. And you can also add your mentorship systems. All these things are different systems that you can create. And when you create all these, they will help your team to grow. Number one, your leaders will grow. And when your leaders grow, everything affects the team. The team will grow. Remember what the quote I started with, John C. Maxwell, that everything rises and falls on leadership. So when the leaders grow, everything gets better. But if the leader doesn't grow, oh, things won't get better. All right. I don't know what you want to do about that, right? It's a principle. It's a principle. I mean, you can't break it. You cannot break it. If you grow, things will get better. If you don't grow, things will not get better. Trust me, it won't. It won't. And that's why many leaders are frustrated, because they are not growing and they want things to get better. I mean, think about that for a second. You're not growing and you want things to get better. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Sometimes when I come around leaders and I'm working with leaders, and I see leaders, get frustrated, because the leader is not taking some time to grow him or herself, to become a better person, in order to fill other people's cup, right? You need to fill your cup before you can fill others. I mean, if your cup is not full, you can't. You'll be pouring emptiness. I mean, you'll be pouring empty stuff into other people's cup because your cup is empty. Okay, so grow yourself. Grow yourself. All right. Number 3, let's talk about the sustainability part. All right. You remember, you attract, you grow, and then you retain. So how can you retain them? Let's imagine you have all those systems in place. Then the next step is to do this. Please don't miss this. I remember I worked with a leader 4 years ago, and we had a conversation about retaining top talent. And what I'm about to share now was one of the things I shared with this leader. And then when this leader applied this, they experienced dramatic results. I think it took them probably around 4-5 months for them to experience it. But here's the thing: they went into strategic execution by executing what I'm about to share with you. So please don't miss this. Don't miss this. All right. It works in every situation. People stay where they feel trusted, empowered, and where they see growth. Please don't miss that. People stay where they feel trusted, empowered, and where they see growth. Remember what I said in the beginning. If your people can't see their own in it, they are growing themselves, they are becoming better, they can experience some growth in their own life. Don't expect them to stay long with you. They won't be long with you. No, you can't retain them because you don't have the capacity to retain them. So you need to have the capacity to retain them before they can stay. All right, it's a principle. And that's why what affects many leaders from becoming more is lead, is LID, because of the lead that has been placed on them. You can't grow beyond your lead. You won't. So you need to expand and increase your capacity. Fill your cup. So you need to build a culture that rewards contribution, not just presence. All right? Okay. Some people are present physically, but their hearts are far from your organization. There is a difference between just being present, having the head count, going through the head count, A, B, C, they are all present in your office and they are present in, and you see them walking around the organization. All right. But here's the thing: are they really present? If you do the heart count, can you see them in your organization? So build a culture that rewards contributions. All right, contributions. Whenever they are contributing, build a reward around it and appreciate whatever they have contributed to the growth of the organization. help them to become more as well. Help them create some systems around that to help them to become more. Let them feel trusted, let them feel empowered, and let them see growth in their lives. All right, because when they grow, when they become more, everything around them will become more, right? And those are assets in your organization. So like I said, think about those three. Number one, attract. Number two, grow. And number three, retain. Let's say you are in the public sector, you are a politician, right? Many times I don't like to use that word, politicians, because there are many people that we see in politics who are not leaders. Many of them, oh, I know what I'm talking about, all right? Because I talk to many, 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 many politicians. Some are genuine, they are genuine. But because imagine you having just one genuine person out of 10, the remaining 9 are not genuine. If you are not careful, you won't see the one that is genuine at all, because those who are genuine, of course, they are the majority. And you are genuine, if you are not careful, everyone that is around you that is not genuine will start seeing you as the problem because they are the majority. And that's the challenge we have in most countries, especially in Africa, right? Okay, I'm using Africa as a case study because I'm very familiar with the systems there, right? And we want transformation, and this is what we need now. And that was why I said share this with every public official that you know. One of the biggest challenges that we have, why we cannot retain, why people cannot trust many public leader, is because of trust. If trust cannot be scaled, if trust is not scaled, people will not engage in any form of transformation, in any form of reformation. People will not engage. Have you ever experienced whereby a leader, a government leader, announces a reform or announces something and people are not excited? People are like, You know why? Because they don't trust them. They don't trust them. They are like, okay, another one. If you have ever experienced what I'm talking about, if you understand what I'm talking about, you can just put it in the chat, in the comment section. Share your own story. Share your story. It's interesting. It's interesting. All these experiences that we see all around us. But here's the thing: we can all become better. And sometimes I see many people come around me and ask me questions. I don't have a position. I don't have a position of influence, and there is nothing I can do about it. Hey, can I tell you something? If you are here and you are hearing my voice, there is something you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. For example, let's say you are working in a very big organization with, let's say, for example, like 200 employees. And you're thinking, okay, I'm not the CEO. I am not the executives. I'm not in the. I'm not making top decisions. I'm not the director. In fact, I am not I am just a team lead, leading 3 people or leading 4 people or 5 people. Can I tell you something? You can make a big difference. Start with what you have. Start with those 3 people. Start with those 4 people. Let's say eventually, after leading those 4 people successfully within your own sphere of influence, you have led them successfully. So let's say one of them is transferred from your team to another team within the organization. That one person is leaving your team with the value that you have added. And that one person can get into another team and transfer those mindsets, those skill sets, and those experiences that you have transferred, the impacts that you have added to that life. That person can transfer you to another team and make a big difference in another team and influence them. That's how you can start influencing the organization from where you are. So you can do something. Don't say you are not the one who makes the top decisions, but what are you doing with what you have? Instead of you complaining about what you cannot control, why can't you decide to make big decisions about what you can control? and make a big difference there. If you don't start with what you have, if you don't influence where you are, people, if you don't influence positively where you are, if you are given a bigger opportunity, you won't do anything. You won't do anything that is significant. You know why? Because it's not part of your nature. It's not what you have developed to become. You have not developed yourself to become that kind of person who adds value wherever he or she goes. And that's why it starts with you. All right. Whether you are leading two people, three people, seven people, 10 people, 100, 1,000, or you are the CEO of the organization, your own growth will determine the impact in your leadership. All right. So let's quickly move to the next step, because I'm about to pause so that I can respond to questions. And if you want to join me live, I can definitely bring you in live. All right. Our team will drop the link. There's a link you can join directly and join me live, so that you can ask your questions live. By the way, join me live. Everybody will see you live and ask your wonderful question. Let's keep it real. It's going to be fun. Okay. So let me quickly do this. Before I get into the next point. I want you to think about your own leadership today. Are you leading well? Are you leading well? Is someone getting better because you are there? Is your organization moving forward because you are there? Is your organization growing because you are there? Or are things just the way they are? All right. So that leads me to the next part. Why teams stay stuck. So if you are leading a team today, this is for you. Why teams stay stuck. If you are a CEO, an entrepreneur, an executive, you're a policy maker, you're a community leader, or you are a faith-based organization, a organizational leader, this is for you. And here is the hard truth. Most teams stay stuck because the leader keeps rescuing them instead of equipping them. Wow, I just said something important. Please write that down, or tweet that to someone. Please, can you just tweet that to a leader you know somewhere and quickly invite them to join this, because I'm about to share some powerful things that every leader needs to hear. Okay, I'm about to share some powerful things. I think someone is planning to join me live. Okay, yeah, I see you. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm about to share something here, and this is going to this this is life changing. This is life changing. The moment we had this shift in our organization many years ago, everything changed. And every time I coach leaders to create this shift, I see dramatic, growth in the organization. You see, most teams, remember I said something that not every team is scalable. All right. Now let's move to the next part. Most teams stay stuck. All right. Because the leader keeps rescuing the team instead of equipping them. Oof. All right. Let me explain what that means. When you rescue, you create dependence. When you equip, you create confidence. Can I repeat that? When you rescue, you create dependence. Everything depends on you. So everybody comes to you every time, because you are always the answer. All right. You are always the answer. Wow. The manager has a problem, you are the answer. They have to talk to you before they know what to do. The director has a problem. Okay, now I'm using the CEO as an example. They have to talk to you every time. Every decision goes through your table. In fact, they cannot make any decision. Can I say something? You are the bottleneck. You are the reason why your company is not growing. You are the person. Okay. That's why you need to grow. Okay. So it's hard. It's hard. And it's the hard truth. So when you rescue every time, you create dependence. And when you equip, you create confidence. So how can you move from creating dependence to equipping confidence. How can you move? So I want you to ask yourself this: where am I over functioning for my team as a leader? Where am I over functioning as a leader? Where exactly am I over functioning as a leader? I want you to ask yourself, what if you could step back, give them the tools, and watch them run? Imagine you've hired experts. They are experts, and you are the only one who is always telling them what to do. Everything they do A, you have to tell them what to do. They do B, you have to tell them what to do. Like they can't think except you are in the room. So what if you leave the room and everything shuts down, right? You're the bottleneck. Okay. There are things you can do. And let me give you one of the case studies and one of the practical things you can do. It is called 131. 131 principle. Okay. Please write that down. If you're a leader, write that down. Or if you're leading a team, write that down. There are many systems, more than 17 systems that you can follow. More than 17. In fact, if you have not heard about Scalable Leadership Summit, I want to challenge you. If you're a leader, you are listening to me right now, to get on that website right now, scalableleadershipsummit.com. Scalableleadershipsummit.com. Okay, somewhere we will drop the link before we end this webinar. I want to encourage you to be in that room. You will learn the 17 systems that you can follow to create confidence in your team, and you will see your team soaring, so that you are not always rescuing your team. One of them is 131. 131 means there is only one problem. Okay? One problem. And let's say a team member comes to you talking to you about a particular problem. That's one. Okay? Now, have a conversation with this team member. And that's the three. All right? And they ask the team member, could you please, go back and then, think about this particular problem that you have shared, and come back with three viable solutions. Okay, ask the team member, how long is it going to take you? 1 day or 2 days? Oh yeah, it should take me 1 day. All right, and then let them go and research, let them go and think about it. Maybe it's a half day or 1 day that it will take them. All right, work with that individual. Guide, ask questions. That's what coaches do. And that's why you need to become a coach when you are leading a team. All right. A coach does not give all the answers. A coach directs and guides by asking the right questions in order for the people to think and then to create the answers. All right. So help them to think. Let them go. Let the individual go to now come back to you. All right. And the last one is, when you discover the three viable solutions, could you please also look at the three solutions and then recommend one of them that you think will help us to solve this problem? 131. One problem, three viable solutions, and then one recommendation. See, every time I use this system, every time I use this, I've always received, amazing results. You know why? If I remember a particular time, I did this with a manager. When he returned back with 5 viable solutions and 2 recommendations. Can I surprise you? The recommendations he provided, they were better than my own ideas. I think I need to repeat that if you missed it. The recommendations he provided, that this manager provided, they were better than my own ideas, because he returned back with better ideas. So he made my own idea a better idea because he went to research. So he became a better person. He turned to become someone who thinks, someone who could research and then find a solution to problems. So after that particular experience, it was not coming to me to share just the challenges. They will come to me with, okay, this is what we're thinking, these are the challenges we have, but these are the recommendations I have. Does that make sense? Right? That's a system. Okay, you can create that system across your organization whereby everyone is thinking and everyone is, is researching, and everyone is working on something on how to make something better in their own team and across their own systems. Okay, so I think we are good on that. Visit the website Scalable Leadership Summit, and don't miss it. You need to be part of that conference. You need to be part of that summit. We're having that in Lagos, and it's going to be live in Lagos, Marriott Hotel. That's going to be this month on the 26th of this month. 26th of this month. So if you are not in the room, you're going to miss a lot. So share that with your leaders and your top executives in your organizations. I want you to share that with them right now. If you can just, take note of that and share that with them right now, that you are doing a great stuff for your organization. All right. So let's quickly do this. Let me just share the last point with you, and then I would allow you to ask your questions. I want you to write this down. Write this down before I end. Write this down. And these are homeworks for you as a leader. It's important. You need to do this homework. I want to give you what you need to do, and if you do this will help you. This will, whether you are leading a one person, 3 people, 10, or you are leading 50 or 100, or you are leading a community, or even if you are leading a state as a governor. All right, do these 3 things. It applies in every situation. Number 1, audit what depends on you. That's where everything starts from. Audit everything that depends on you. Make a list tonight. And if you are joining me in the United States, or you're joining me from Canada, make the list this afternoon or this evening, wherever you are. If you're on Eastern time, it's going to be evening. If you're on Central time, it's going to be afternoon. No, it's still afternoon, right? I think it's still before 4 Eastern time. So do it now. Make a list right now. If you're in Africa, tonight, make a list. That's number 1. Audit everything that depends on you. Number 2, design a simple system or SOP, standard of operation. Design it for one thing that is on that list. Okay, this depends on me. Everything, I have to do this 100%. Then create SOPs. Everything you do, write everything down. Document it. Okay, document everything as if someone else will be doing it for you. And without talking to that person, everything that you do, the person can take it and then deliver the same thing. So write them down. All right. And then number 3, identify one person who can own it. Identify one person who can own it, and make sure you give it to the right people, to the right person. And the right person does not mean availability, does not mean that is the right person. Availability does not mean you should transfer it to someone because the person is just available. Okay? Ownership matters. And the heart for the work matters. The pattern matters. You need to have studied pattern and then give it to the right person who has the right skill, who has the experience, who you can train to own it and to do it even better than you. So this is how you shift from talent to team. One system, one leader, one step at a time. Okay, one system, one leader, one step at a time. I want to encourage you to be at the summit, Scalable Leadership Summit.com. Get your ticket there. We have several groups. If you are leading a team, leading an organization, trust me, you have your own group ticket there. You can come as a team. Come as a team and create that plan together. We're going to give you a 12-month roadmap that you can work on with your own team, your leadership team, your organization, to create the kind of a change that you want in your organization. We call it sustainable change. You can create it in your organization and make that change sustainable and create a culture that encourages leadership, encourages contribution in your organization. So before we wrap up, remember, scaling doesn't happen by accident. It does not. And when it comes to scaling, you can scale from one level to level 2, scale from level 2 to level 3, from level 3 to level 4. In fact, one of the things you are going to learn at the summit, the 7 levels in scaling anything, scaling your vision, scaling your business, scaling your department, scaling your team, scaling your policy as a policy maker. All right, scaling trust, scaling any idea. You will learn the 7 levels. If you are level 1, you will discover you are level 1. You can audit it right there in the room. You know how to move to level 2. When do you need to move to level 3? And you can scale it systematically. What do you need to do? All right. So join us at the Scalable Leadership Summit 2025 to dive deeper, get real frameworks, and build what lasts without burning yourself out. All right. So reserve your spot today. Reserve it today. Go to that website right now and get into it. Share it with all the leaders you know, especially those you know that are doing it alone. Share with them. Or those who are frustrated that you are aware of, share with them. Or those who are doing good and you know that, I want my leader to get better. All right. I want to help my leader. Just share with them that, hey, sir, are you aware of this? Ma'am, are you aware of this? Just start the conversation that way. All right. And trust me, your leader will eventually thank you for doing that, because this is going to have so much value to them and it's going to 10x whatever they are doing today in the next 12 months. It's going to 10x whatever they are doing today in the next 12 months. That is our promise after this conference. That's exactly what is going to happen after this conference, because this kind of event I've never seen it. I've never seen it in Nigeria, even across Africa. You know what? All the frameworks that we're going to be sharing with you, they are trademarked, and they are brand new frameworks that organizations are using globally in the United States, in the Europe, and then in some organizations in Canada. And trust me, this is our first time of introducing this in Nigeria. So be in the room and be part of the first people that will be introduced to this, because it's going to be massive. Scaling leadership. So if you have got value, drop value in the chat. I want you to drop value. If you have got value today, drop value. Let's build leaders, teams, and systems that scale together. I want to thank you very much for showing up and leading this particular shift that we're talking about today. So do you have any questions? Drop value and let me know. Do you have any questions? Any questions from anyone? You can drop your question in the comment section, whether you are joining on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Drop your question in the comment section, or you can also join us live if you want to join us live. If you want to join us live, just let us know you want to join us live. Sure. And the link will be shared with you. In fact, let me share the link. If you want to join me live, you can just join me live and ask your your question live in this room. Okay. Drop your questions in the comment section if you want to ask any questions. Any questions tonight before we end this section? Any questions tonight? Any questions? And that could be your own direct question or a question in your organization. Okay, so here you go. That's the link. That's the link right there in the comment section. You have the link. You can use that link to join me live in the studio, and you can ask your question if you are not shy. Remember, you don't have to be shy. You are here to lead. We're talking leadership. Be confident to join me in the room and ask your questions. All right. Any questions tonight? All right. I want to believe that everyone has got something tonight. Thank you very much for all this wonderful comments. Yes, people, systems, and culture, those are very critical in any role. I see other comment there. The shift predict high performance, and the rest is multiplication. Yes, that is very true. That is very true. So we're going to end here tonight. If we don't have any questions, I want to give us how many more minutes? Let me give us 2 more minutes to do that. 2 more minutes. Oh, another comment here. Talent gets you started. Yes, it's your team and system that makes it sustainable. Exactly. That's the point. It's your team and your A game. All right. And what's that? That's your system, creating your systems and providing clarity. That's exactly what creates that sustainability that you really need in your organization. And everybody can do this. Everybody, okay? Especially proactive leaders. You've got to be responsible. It is your responsibility to lead the way, help others to learn how to lead well. So do not forget this as we end this webinar today. Next week, we're going to be here again. We're going to be here to talk about another topic. So tomorrow, we're going to launch the new topic. You're going to be aware of the new topic. Just watch out on all our platforms, on Instagram. We're going to launch it on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We're going to be posting all that. I want you to just follow all our platforms for all this wonderful information against next week, Thursday. Another wonderful topic. We're going to be focusing on scalable leadership as we go through this Scalable Leader Series webinar. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to end now because we don't have any questions. That tells me that everybody is on track. I want to just encourage you to please continue to lead wherever you are. Continue to get better. Continue to improve yourself. Be open-minded to the shift that you need to go through. Be open-minded to that transformation that you need to experience. All right. Strengthen your core team. If you are a leader, hearing me right now, strengthen your core team. Implement leadership systems that don't depend on you. Break bottlenecks and build trust that scales. And keep growing sustainably for the next 12 months and beyond. And that's exactly what you are going to experience at the summit. See you at the Scalable Leadership Summit, Lagos, live July 26th. And have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.